Sheriff's Department. I've been the public information officer since Friday or Thursday evening, about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. We start putting everything together. Format tonight, start. Then I'm going to have the sheriff and the emergency manager kind of go through where everything was starting on Thursday night, kind of up to now, and what the plan is for the next week or two. Following that, I'm going to introduce all the different individuals that are on the outside here, who are, some of them are government departments, agencies, some of them are nonprofits. We're going to go through the list and kind of tell you different resources that we have available. I will tell you, you'll hear this number over and over, 989-743-2635. That's if you need assistance or you want to donate money or water, or clothing, or whatever. If you want to volunteer, 989-743-2631. Those aren't monitored, they're not live 24 hours a day, so the evening voicemail kicks on. Those are our numbers that we have set up to coordinate volunteers to help those that need assistance and to take in contributions. So with that, I have a long list. First, I want to thank individuals, groups, people that have been involved since Thursday night. Obviously, the Shiawassee County Sheriff's Office, which includes Central Dispatch, Emergency Management, Homeland Security, and Animal Control, Michigan State Police, Community Emergency Response Team, Salvation Army, Red Cross, the Shiawassee County Health Department, Verizon, Ingham County Emergency Management, Osceola County Emergency Management, Clinton County Emergency Management, Consumers Energy, and all their contractors, the Cajun Navy from Louisiana, State Senator Tom Barrett, State Representative Ben Frederick, who's here. Ben's been active with us. Been out visiting a lot of the houses that were struck. County commissioners, I'm not sure if any of them are here, but in particular, Commissioner Rudd and Commissioner March, whose area was hit. They've been heavily involved the last couple of days. A lot of local government officials, but I want to point out we have Bertha Clerk, Vernon Township Supervisor, who has been hands-on, and we have a lot of individuals. We have the chief from Shiawassee and the chief from Vernon Township, the deputy chief. We've kind of taken over. Vernon Township Hall is our command center. Thank you for being our host and opening up your doors to us. So most all fire departments and police departments, agencies in the county responded Thursday evening, including some from Genesee. Media newspaper, for the media folks here, thank you very much for helping us get out our message. In particular, Josh Strickland with Korean Now and Tom Manke with his 2 Facebook pages. A lot of our information, probably some of you, how many of you have received information via Facebook? Okay. So we've been on TV, we've been pushing using a lot of different medias, but a lot of it's been social media. Chrissy Johnson from Johnson Insurance Agency out of Durand, the Shiawassee Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, the Shiawassee Health and Wellness Department, our county clerk Caroline Wilson's here to talk about vital records, Shiawassee Veteran Services, Shiawassee Road Commission, Drain Commission, Community Tree Service, Colin Rose at Daysar, the National Weather Service. We've had individuals here from Delhi Township Fire Department, Emergency Management, Shiawassee Home Builders Association, Rubicon, Catholic Charities, Fishes and Loaves out of Vernon, the Amateur Radio Emergency Service, Shiawassee County Agency, which is hosting our volunteer center here in Grand Public Schools for opening their doors today. Big help to RESD, Dave Schulte, who's been very helpful coordinating stuff today, making this possible with the schools. And we've heavily relied on Jackie Karstens and Kevin Tomlinson for our IT needs out of RESD. Media has come together. So with that, we're going to move on. Sheriff Cavold is going to make some remarks, and then we're going to transition into Trent Atkins, who's our Emergency Service Manager. If you have questions, if you could wait to the very end, and then you could come up individually to talk to us. We have maps, you guys have some information. But just to keep things going, to hold questions to the end, we're all going to be here for a while. And when they get done, I'm going to go through the services that are available. If you need something, you can walk around. Most importantly, on the right-hand side, if you want to volunteer, you can sign up. If you have needs or assistance, maybe you don't even know what it is, but you can sign up there, and we'll get you taken care of. So with that, Sheriff Brian Begola.
Thank you. Good evening. If you're not able to hear me, just raise your hand. I'll try to speak up a little bit. The microphone system wasn't working. So I want to thank you for coming here tonight. We got a good response. I know we're not able to reach everyone, especially with some of the powers out. Not everybody follows the Facebook sites, but we did the best job we could as far as getting door to door and trying to make contact with you. I recognize a lot of you as victims here tonight, and that's the main thing. What we want to do, get you here and let you know, we care about what's going on. The last thing we want is for you to be standing around looking at your house or in your yard and not knowing what to do. So I want you to know that all of these, your elected officials, your township officials, city officials, we've all come together. I can't tell you how proud I am. I've never seen, in my 29-year career, I've never seen such cooperation, collaboration between police, fire, EMS, and all the elected officials to take care of this. So really, it's working as it should. So let's start with Thursday night and talk a little bit about what happened in case you haven't heard. What we now know, at about 6:45, 2 tornadoes hit Shiawassee County. The first one touching down in Bennington Township was rated EF0, okay? That's winds around 80 miles an hour. There was a second one, which was an EF2. That was around 125 miles an hour. Now those speeds fluctuated on each of them as they moved across the county, but they did about 8 miles of destruction total. And obviously, we have tons of damage. And we have families that are displaced. There was 60 houses, roughly. That numbers went up and down a little as more information comes in. We decipher it. That's not uncommon during situations like this. But about 60 to 65 houses did damage. We anticipate there may be more in outlying areas, but we're going to adjust the numbers as it goes. 18 of those homes are uninhabitable or destroyed completely. So I can't imagine the feeling of those people right now. And sadly, not everybody was insured. And that's why we've declared a state of emergency for Shiawassee County. And we're reaching out to the state of Michigan, hoping that they'll recognize this as the emergency we do in order to try to get people the help that they desperately need. In addition to the homes that were destroyed and damaged, we had 16 barns destroyed. Some of them were historical landmarks, as far as I'm concerned. There was businesses destroyed. Millions of dollars out of one business. And the other one was a large farming operation that had extensive damage as well. The total cost of devastation has not been determined. So that's what's going to be happening for the next several weeks or even longer. These things take time to get a proper accounting for. When this thing struck, we had 6,100 people that were out of power. That caused a lot of problems in this weather, didn't it? But we got emergency personnel to the areas as fast and as quickly as we could. They began relaying information backwards, and what we decided was to establish an emergency command center in the the Vernon Township Fire Department, which is in basically downtown Vernon. So we've been working on it there pretty much nonstop since the tornado struck. And again, you heard the long list of people that was read off. So many things are going on behind the scenes, collecting information, planning ahead to try to make sure that we have the proper information and that you guys have the proper resources that you need. There are many, many resources available, and we are happy to provide those to you. We just got to get the information out to everybody, and we're going to ask for your help doing that as well. On a damage level, 61% of the damage occurred within Shiawassee Township. 29.5% occurred in Vernon Township, and the remaining 9% occurred in Venice Township, where the tornadoes died out and then left. To give you a little better understanding what we were doing behind the scenes on Thursday when this tornado hit and the emergency personnel responded to those areas, it was basically a search and rescue operation. We had houses that were devastated. We didn't know if we were going to have casualties at the time, but that's what we did. We were there to check the houses, make sure that we didn't have anybody trapped or pinned or needing immediate attention. And that went on for hours. It's like, more information came in. It was dark. We were driving around and looking. We performed what's called a grid search. So we broke the police, the fire into groups, and we sent them out in there. We did basically grid searches of the areas you lived in, checking for the most damaged houses, and then making contact with those houses to make sure that everyone was not, like I said, hit or hurt or requiring immediate attention. What we found is we had no casualties, and I'll say very little, if any injuries. There was a couple people that obtained some scratches, so I really think we're very blessed in that aspect, that somebody wasn't killed in this. So we did have people that had down power lines on their house. Some of them were on oxygen and needed to get out of there quickly. So the fire and EMS, along with Consumers Powers, worked together to rescue those people and take them to the hospital, make sure that that their needs were met. Now on Fridays, we began damage assessment. We needed to know how much damage was out there in the community. We didn't know how big the area was. So again, in the daylight, we started, got some feet on the ground, started in the morning, checking the roads. Michigan State Police was there with their helicopter to assist in flying the area, and it was much easier to determine just where those tornadoes started and stopped. You could actually see it all the way through. Very difficult on the ground, but when you got the aerial views, we see it clearly. The areas that were most impacted. On Saturday, the damage assessment continued as we also worked through to establish resources for you, put them in place, making rounds to make sure that people were aware of that. I should have mentioned that there was immediately a shelter set up on Thursday night at the Corona Community Center. There were some people that inquired about it. It wasn't utilized, but it was there for the people who needed it. We had one person walk into the operations center who was cold, he was without power. They chose to stay at their houses, and many people do, not knowing when the power is going to come on, hoping it's going to come on. But we were able to provide him a little comfort in that aspect. As things moved forward into the evening yesterday, we started to turn to more of a recovery process and cleanup. We've had nonprofit organizations come in large numbers. They're coming into town still. People are starting volunteering. We're setting up the avenues in order to get those people opportunity to help cutting up the debris and the cleanup. So that's what you're going to see over the next several weeks, and especially probably this week, is more of a recovery and cleanup of the area. There's many donated items coming in right now. In fact, I was proud to just stop by the VFW here in Durand, and I couldn't fit any more food items in the back of my truck because the Boy Scouts had an event and they donated everything there. It was just incredible. And there's a shoebox full of gift cards for places to eat, things that can be handed out to some of the families that don't have a house or maybe don't have electricity still. Most of the power has been restored, but we know you could be one of them here tonight that isn't. There's individual hookups and damage that has to be done, and we're hopeful that those will continue and try to get everybody back online because at this point in time, in this weather, that's one of our main concerns, to make sure that your food, your shelter, and water needs are met. So we do have those resources available. And that's what today is about. Talk about what happened, find out what you need the emergency manager here, Trent Atkins. I'm gonna give him a plug because this is how I feel, and you guys should be proud of him. I think he's probably one of the best emergency managers in the state of Michigan. He comes to Shiawassee County. He's a resident here. His kids go to school here. He loves his community, and that's why he's here, because he could probably go anywhere he wanted to go. But he's here with us, and it's experience like him that helps this all together. Police, fire, and EMS always work, but he's kind of been the one, not the authority to do it so much as the ability to get those groups together. That's what he did, and that's why it worked so good here in the last couple of days. So again, providing these sources, that's why these volunteers have come in, many of them on their days off, you can see, and they're going to offer services to you. And I'm quite surprised as I go around even what they do. So please don't look at a sign and just assume that maybe they can't help you, because they offer even more than I thought. So it's hopefully something that's going to be valuable to you. Now, if you don't see something you need here, reach out to us. If we don't have it here, we can find somebody to try to get you an answer. All right? That's all about networking, and that's all about emergency management. Really, it's networking, it's logistics, it's getting emergency equipment, supplies in the event of emergency. You know, we could say it's not going to happen here in Shiawassee County, and it did, but thank God it wasn't worse. And it could be something else, next week or something like that. So we got to be ready for those things today. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Emergency Manager Trent Atkins. He's going to explain this process a little bit more in detail.